Hi everyone, my name is Melcha, and today we're going to have a bit of a different video. This one is with regards to what but what are called edge trips by some people. They don't really have a good name, but this is what we're going to go over. Yeah, so first you're going to notice that I'm in free roam. Why am I in free roam? Only casual players go into free roam. I shouldn't be here. I'm banned from free roam. Well, this is going to be more of a ramble video because this is more sort of theoretical, if you will. So and what I just showed off is what we're going to be learning. Edge tricks. That's what it sort of looks like. You sort of trick on the edge and it looks like you're basically tricking over nothing, you get a bit of a boost. Pretty much all of these tricks are deep end trips. When I reference deep end tricks, I mean tricks that are very hard and can be pretty inconsistent. That you only want to go for, not in lobby or worldwides, but sort of just for time trials, right? If you want to get the best time possible, then you come to the right video. You have not come to the right video if you're trying to do this in worldwides, because I can't help you there. I don't think anyone can help you there. But it looks like that essentially. And I'm coming to the Rings of Saturn here just because this is a pretty good place to learn them, I want to say. It gives you good fundamentals. These particular Rings of Saturn. Cool, so introduction. I mean, let me give you my little introduction, I should say. I started playing this game in April of 2025, San Francisco event, and when I was playing during that time, there was just so much we didn't know, so much. And at that point, we didn't know anything about the mechanics. We didn't know, how to go fast, we just didn't know anything. But as time moved on, we all, time trialers, speedrunners like myself, sort of used all of our expertise in different racing games, speedruns, in order to advance the meta, very, very quickly. And find really tough skips like this one, in order to, shave off fractions of a second. So this particular trick is more of a testament. It's like a test, right? Did you study for the test? How much do you know the game mechanics? So this particular introduction is going to be to learn those game mechanics, as best as we can anyway. First thing we need to know is that every single thing, or at least every sort of road like this, is a ramp. Everything's treated like a ramp, right? Which means we can do a couple things. Trick off of it, which is cool and all. We can also charge jump trick off of it if we want sort of extra height. And we indeed do that for certain tricks, like in Shy Guy Bazaar, which I've released a video on a little while ago. So that's cool. Let's do some tricks on this sort of portion. And as you can see, this is all about angle. Let's look at, this line over here. Hope you guys have taken geometry in high school because this is going to be a pretty big geometry lesson. So, actually, Pauline is going to get a little closer up here. So, if we trick over here like this, let's see if I can actually get a good angle. Yeah, this is just fine. If we trick off like this, and we sort of look at this portion of the level, sort of, I don't know what shape this is, how many vertices there are, but as you can see, there's a straight line here, and a straight line here, right? If you trick straight, essentially, you're going off the cliff. Maybe you want to go off the cliff, I don't know. So yeah. If we sort of change our angle a little bit... Oh, I'm just gonna go over here. Let's just say... we go like this and we trick off. And let's actually test this, right? Not pick the P-switch. Trick off like that. We go like that. So, these are very sort of ground level basic mechanics of tricking. The biggest point is that you trick in a straight line. Pretty much all the time. Except if you hold right or left. Trick right or left, you actually sort of... And again, going to go back to our example on this particular line here. This capture card was like $200, by the way. It's pretty expensive. Well, I don't think it was as expensive as it could have been. It could have been like $300 if I got the Elgato, but anyways, trick right over here. Now, where do we end up in relation to this rail over here? As you can see, we're quite a ways to the right if we trick neutrally and go to the right. But we can actually use this to our advantage. Why does she like that? Why is her hair changing? Anyways, we can actually use this to our advantage. So, in the mathematical world, used to be a math major, this is a sort of convex... What do you call it? A convex piece of geometry here where it's curved at a certain angle like this, right? So if you want to do something cool and trick off of this, we're never really... Well, I'm gonna try, but we're never really going to, actually land back onto the stage here. We'll just sort of plop. I don't know what you call it. If we try to do something cool there. But let me tell you something cool. Gotta get your toothbrushes out because we're talking about concavity. If there is a concave angle, a acute angle, if you will, like this one. Yeah, this is a good sort of example. If there's a concave angle in the wall here, in the road, gotta move closer to the microphone, I think. If there's a concave angle, you can actually trick off like this, neutrally, hold right, so you don't trick right, but you trick neutrally, hold right, and you trick off sort of like this. Remember, you're still on a straight line coming off of this ramp, essentially. But you sort of go back onto the road here. If you look at, well, my cool idea was to look at something like this. Yeah, this, and if you look at something like this, you sort of think the same thing. Maybe I'll go downstairs, if you will, and try it out on this sort of portion, but this is another thing you can do. You sort of trick off of this portion right here where my cursor is at. You get off the road, trick neutrally, and hold left around this area. Then you get back onto the stage. With an asterisk, you don't actually take this sort of crazy line on a worldwide, but this is just an example. And I would say if you want to sort of see what this looks like, this is sort of a good way to practice it, I guess. I sort of came up here on a whim, but I can see it being good practice. If you sort of go straight, and then just do that, right? And you can do that a bunch of times. Again, you're in the deep end of the pool now. This is what it's like, but it's not too bad, I would say. I actually like to get to the very sort of end, very end of this here. And sort of try and go there. So if you've done that, cool, you've done your first set trick, congratulations. It only gets harder from here. And again, I'm sort of in free roam, because you don't want to practice in free roam for the most part, just because the controls change. But I'm just here because you can't actually get here in normal races. So we're going to go on to, and by the way, this is all that these kinds of tricks are, right? They vary in difficulty, particularly they vary in difficulty essentially, but if you have that sort of philosophy in mind essentially, you can do these pretty much anywhere. If you have balls of steel, you can do them in lobby. I would not recommend doing it in lobby because you're probably going to lose a bunch of time. Many of these edge tricks, like the ones I'm going to show, are not near double item boxes, which is a great reason not to do this. Again, this is a pretty much guide for time trials people who want to level up their gameplay, but I know there are some people out there who are like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm front running all the time, I'm gonna show off by doing some end tricks and show second place, like, oh my god, this person is crazy. So you got something like this over here, you can go, well, I can go like this if I can actually get the trick correctly. It's hard, I'm not gonna talk to you and say that it's easy, but you can do something like that essentially. So that's the first set trick. I think this trick, edge trick coming up, is probably the easiest one you can possibly go for. Because you essentially go off stage here and go right onto the track. It's very easy. Is it easy? Is it hard, Metro? What am I trying to tell the people? This is the easiest of the hardest tricks. Doesn't mean it's easy, but it's the easiest of the hardest. There is a sort of dichotomy that you can think about. So that's one thing that you can do. Peach Stadium has a couple of them. A couple of actually. It really has 3 that are worth going for. 4. It has. I know one of them is not worth going for, but not sure about the others as well. And this isn't a Peach Stadium guide or a Mario Bros. Circuit guide, that's going to come separately. But yeah. I'm just sort of, excuse me, just sort of playing, I don't really sort of time trial this level very often. So one of them is over here. This one's pretty hard to intuitively get. I think this is one of the hardest sort of edge tricks actually. So like right there, that's one of them. This is another one that's pretty easy. I say pretty easy, but the easiest of the hardest, I should say. I find that one to be very consistent. If you're gonna do anyone in sort of, in frickin' lobby, go for this one. Might get bumped off, but what are you gonna do? There, I sort of failed it, but I could have probably gotten back on the track. But there's another edge trick right here, but it's actually slower to go for as what is in the most recent world records, so I will show it off for completion's sake. I'm not going to show every sort of corner jump, by the way, and it'd be crazy, but these next two is sort of the next step up. If you sort of get gotten comfortable, this is going to keep you out of your comfort zone a little bit, because the fastest way to do these is to go for them using mini turbo boots essentially. And that's hard. Like, look at how wide my turns were. Like, I'm not doing this optimally, granted, but like, these ones are pretty difficult. I haven't really gone to the hang of them myself, but I would say those two in Peach Stadium are probably the hardest ones in the game, essentially. Yeah, those could be considered the hardest ones. The next ones are in Mario Bros. Circuit. Funny enough, like, Mario Bros. Circuit is the first level, but it's not like Luigi Circuit, where Figure 8 Circuit, where it's just easy. This sort of level, I think, has some of the biggest tech in the game. And it sort of rears its ugly head at the end of the track here. This is not a track that I time trial very often, so I'm improvising my line here. So it's over here where you're supposed to get a mini turbo boost. Yeah, look at how strict that is. That's one of the reasons why I don't like going for this. Again, if your name is Super FX or going for like the world record tops in this particular stage, then gotta go for it. I want to actually do something like that, do another one, and I want to do it right over here somewhere. This one I'm very, very inconsistent at, but so yeah, that's another thing you could do. It's very difficult. As you can tell, I'm not very practiced in some of these, I just sort of have the basics, but I at least want to put this video out here just for those who want to get into doing this, essentially. Where else are we going? Next one is in Rainbow Road, and we're gonna be playing Rainbow Road for a little while here, but these are also very difficult. I'd say that Rainbow Road overall has the hardest selection of these. Like these at the very beginning, I haven't really figured out that much at all. The key here, again, any corner jump that's associated with a blue mini turbo like that, sort of kind of boggles the mind in a way. Like that's, like I literally did it there, but it lost a bunch of times, so is it really worth it? Here in particular, like you could do it, but don't actually want to because it's slower. I don't actually know, I will sort of admit on this level, I have not done time trials at all. So, yeah. You can skip ahead, essentially, if you're only looking to go to the relevant portions, but just gonna sort of babble here, if you will. I was able to get my capture card, it's one of the Evermedia ones. I didn't want to get... I was at Micro Center and they really couldn't find the capture card I was looking for, essentially. I had to find it myself. So, I was really glad I did though. I might eat my words in a few, like, months or years, but it's hard to believe that I've used Evermedia products for over 13 years in my media production. So I trust their brand quite a bit, and when they're like, oh, you know, these are Elgato. We have an Elgato right here, just get an Elgato. I'm like, no. Every single person I know that has an Elgato is just sort of get infuriated by it. I'm not about to have it. Probably would have bought it, but I just trust Evermedia with their products. It's been working really well. I will say it sort of was a little scary because these sort of capture cards come with an input-output shield. And the input-output shield actually ran right into my graphics card, into one of the HDMI slots and messed it up, which could cause real problems, so I just removed the input-output shield and yeah. It was able to fit. There's like big holes in there now, but should be good. There's one corner jump. So corner jumps aren't just limited by on-road, you can do it off-road as well like this, and take this corner cut pretty well. And you want to get 2 orange mini turbos here. I actually want to not take that ramp, funny enough. Oops. I want to do that. And here are the next set of corner cuts. They're very hard to go for, so if you're trying to get that sub 4 in Rainbow Road, I commend you, I really do. But I am not about that life, essentially. This video is not sponsored by Evermedia. I wish it was, but you know. Hold on. What's that? Oh, that's the place we were at the beginning of the level, funny enough. Getting very distracted. We're talking about edge jumps here. So there's one over here somewhere. Again, I just sort of, lazily looked at the world record. It's like, oh, edge jump, awesome. That's cool. For the first, I will say for these ones in particular, you do want to down trick. So that's one unique thing about this particular level and these set of edge tricks. And I said I was not going to go over them all, but I think I am going over pretty much most of them. I think there are some stages that I'm totally missing out on, but, you know, it is what it is. Cool, so I remember when I was like the world record was stuck on a 402 for so much time. There was one over here or something. Oh, that's actually not what I wanted to do. Yeah, actually don't want to do it here, but there is, funny enough, in a roundabout way, this edge trick might be the most important in the game, just because this one in particular will let you know whether or not you have gotten a sub 4 or not, essentially. So many broken dreams have happened here particularly, but still pretty tough. I mean, look at how easy it is to just sort of fail entirely. I think I just have to get there a bit earlier and trust myself and sort of trick there. I will say, sort of the last portion of this this guide is going to be common points of failure. The way that I'm failing in these particular instances is that I'm not tricking in midair, you know, as soon as I possibly can. So that's one thing. I'm also not aligned properly. Is another thing. Sort of wants to go where there's an arch right here. But it's pretty difficult. I need to sort of trust my angle. If I don't trust my angle and I'm not sort of committing it to it entirely, and that's when the corner tricks fail the most. And again, this is one of the hardest corner tricks in the game, the edge tricks. There I did it perfectly. But it's one of the hardest ones in the game, essentially, in my opinion. And I think the most important thing, like, just don't forget you want to trick and then hold right or hold left. Like there I was tricking right neutrally and holding left, which is what I want to do. At least for this particular trick. Like that. Cool, that was pretty good. Otherwise, again, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. Hopefully you sort of look at this video and are a little less intimidated by these tricks. I believe anybody can do them if they put their mind to it. So any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Leave a like and subscribe. Thank you so much.